It started at a young age. I started playing organized sports in 5th grade with Pee Wee football. Once I started weightlifting as a freshman for the football team, it just took to me. Always something I was attracted to. Well, lifting can be a team sport or it can be a solo sport. But just the challenging yourself and pushing yourself past limits that you didn't think you could push yourself past, and then setting new ones and pushing past them. My name is Josh Sams. I'm a veteran of the United States Marine Corps. I served with the 1st Battalion, 6th Marines in the Scout Sniper Platoon. My grandpa served, my dad served. I wish I'd have thought about that beforehand. There's been several members of my family that served in the military. For me, the Marine Corps, it's infantry, it's the front line. If I'm going to do it, I might as well go and do what they're known for, what the stories are written for, what the legacy of the Marine Corps is built on. And initially I went in as an 0351 anti-tank assaultman. And after I did that for a couple years, well, about 4 years, I re-enlisted and went to sniper school in Quantico, Virginia. And that was probably one of the best times I had in the Marine Corps. Our 3rd deployment was to Sing in Afghanistan. We left in the summer of 2011. Just being with that group of guys that I was with, 3 or 4 of them that I had gone to sniper school with, that made it nice. However long the mission is, that's how long you're with those guys. They become your boys. You sleep next to them, you fight next to them, you eat with them. You form some pretty tight bonds, get to know people pretty well. The guy that was my spotter through sniper school was actually in my team, Seth. He and I got to become good friends. And he was actually there on the day I got hurt, so I owe him a good bit. And it was a pretty uneventful morning for most of the morning. We'd sit in a couple spots and then we moved on. And we came to a portion where there was a kind of an opening and then it wound off into an alleyway. And a couple of my guys went and were checking out the alleyway and they noticed a rat tunnel where somebody had been crawling underneath of the wall. And I wanted to see it, you know, being the curious cat that I am. And I approached the alleyway and I went and braced on the wall to kind of step up on the ledge that was there. And that was the last thing, really. I put my foot down and then there was just a brownout from the explosion. I heard the explosion, I didn't feel anything. I felt weightless. I knew instantly it was me that hit it and I hit the ground with a thud. The bird came in and the last thing I remember was the rotor wash and the heat of the engines from the helicopter. And I was out before the helicopter landed and they picked me up and loaded me. This here is the helmet I was wearing on my 3rd deployment when I got hit. It's got a few nicks and dings from some shrapnel that hit it. But I mean, for the most part, it seems to be unfazed. It's still dirty and nasty. It's just kind of cool to got to have kept it. So I keep it on display. I spent 19 months at Walter Reed. Talking to the doctors at Walter Reed, they said just due to my body mass, my size, that was probably the only thing that saved me. If I'd have been a smaller guy, like 150 pounds, the blast probably would have taken my life. The same as it was when I first started lifting back when I was a freshman in high school. Once it started, it was on. My main focus was working out in the mat team. Just doing different things to get better and try to regain as much independence as I could. Right now, where I'm at now, I'm so much stronger than I was before I got hurt. Mainly because I had to, but once I realized I could, I mean, for me, that was just like, I'm gonna keep going and going until I can't go anymore. Yeah, for me, the gym, that's my escape. I get in there, and it is my happy place, so that's where I like to be. Veterans Day, I try to treat it like a typical day, and I think it's necessary, just not for my generation, but to remember the generations before us. And I think as the years have gone by, just the service that I've committed to the country, it means even more, just when you think back about it and realize everything you've gone through and some of the experiences you've had, like nobody else is gonna have those, except the guys that have gone and done it. It's like continuing on a legacy.